There comes a moment in every life when silence becomes unbearable, when comfort starts to feel like a prison, and you realize that the only person who can save you is you. This is not another motivational speech. This is a reminder, a challenge to rise above your impulses, your distractions, your excuses. Because life isn't a playground of pleasure, it's a training ground for the soul. Before we begin, take a breath. Stay with me till the end, not because I ask you to, but because deep down, you know this message is meant for you. The harsh truth of life. Life is not a constant celebration. It's not meant to be easy, comfortable, or endlessly kind. It's a series of battles, small daily wars between who you are and who you could become. Every morning you stand at a crossroads. Will you follow the path of resistance or the path of regret? Most people spend their lives escaping discomfort. They drown their fear in distraction, numb their potential with pleasure, and call it happiness. But comfort is deceptive. It lulls you into mediocrity, a slow decay of purpose disguised as peace. True peace doesn't come from avoiding struggle. It comes from mastering it. The essence of discipline. Discipline is the art of command, not over others, but over yourself. It's not a punishment. It's not a cage. It's the key that unlocks freedom. Most people misunderstand it. They think discipline means restriction. But in truth, it's the highest form of liberation. Because when you command yourself, you're no longer at the mercy of moods, impulses, or laziness. You become steady, unmoved by chaos, unbroken by failure. Discipline is quiet. It doesn't boast. It doesn't seek validation. It simply shows up every day without applause. The disciplined soul doesn't need motivation. They operate on principles, not emotions. While others wait to feel ready, they act again and again until readiness becomes irrelevant. Facing yourself. Look in the mirror, not at your face, not at your reflection, but at your truth. Ask yourself, honestly, how much of your life is ruled by weakness, disguised as comfort? How many dreams have died quietly under the excuse of tomorrow? The Stoics taught that the greatest battlefield is within. To conquer yourself is to conquer the world. Discipline begins there, in that silent confrontation, when you stand before your reflection and choose not to lie, when you stop negotiating with your potential. It's not glamorous, it's not cinematic, it's raw, it's uncomfortable. But that discomfort, that inner friction, is where transformation begins.
The habit of action. Discipline is not built in grand moments of inspiration. It's forged in repetition, in the small, invisible acts that no one sees and no one praises. The philosopher Epictetus said, "No great thing is created suddenly." And he was right. Discipline is the slow, deliberate shaping of character. It's in waking up before the world stirs. It's in saying no when temptation whispers yes. It's in doing the work, especially when you don't want to. Each act of discipline is a brick. Every day you lay another and another, until one day you look around and realize you've built yourself. Your mind becomes sharper, your will becomes stronger, your soul becomes calmer. Action repeated with discipline becomes destiny. Embracing pain and discomfort. Pain is not your enemy, it's your greatest teacher. The Stoics believed that every hardship was an invitation, an opportunity to practice virtue, resilience, and wisdom. When you lift weights, your muscles tear before they grow. When you train your mind, your comfort shatters before you rise. Pain is the chisel of greatness. It shapes, refines, and purifies you. Do not run from discomfort. Invite it. When your mind screams to stop, keep going. When the world tells you to rest, take one more step. Because beyond the pain lies clarity, the quiet satisfaction of knowing you didn't surrender. The disciplined don't chase pleasure, they chase purpose. No shortcuts, no excuses. We live in an age of shortcuts, quick results, easy hacks. Everyone wants the reward, but few want the responsibility. But the truth is simple. There are no shortcuts to excellence. There is only the long road, paved with discipline, sacrifice, and perseverance. Excuses are the language of the undisciplined. They sound intelligent, even reasonable, but they build nothing. Blame is easy. Responsibility is hard. But responsibility, that sacred act of owning your life, is what separates the ordinary from the extraordinary. When you stop waiting for perfect conditions, when you stop blaming your past, your circumstances, your luck, you awaken the warrior within. The path of mastery. Mastery is not about being better than others. It's about being better than you were yesterday. And that requires structure, organization, rhythm. Discipline is the architecture of greatness. It's what turns chaotic energy into creative force. Be organized in thought, in action, in environment. Fulfill your promises, not because others are watching, but because your word must mean something to you. The Stoics spoke of eudaimonia, living in alignment with your best self. That alignment is impossible without discipline. It's what keeps your inner and outer worlds from falling apart. Every successful person, every serene mind is built on order, not chaos.
Freedom through control. True freedom is not the absence of rules. It's the presence of self-control. To the undisciplined, control feels like a cage. But to the wise, it feels like liberation. When you master your impulses, you master your destiny. You no longer dance to the rhythm of emotion or desire. You move to the music of purpose. Freedom without discipline
leads to slavery, to habits, addictions, distractions. But discipline without freedom leads to tyranny. The balance lies in control, in choosing your path consciously, not reactively. So, don't reject discipline. Embrace it as your shield, your compass, your quiet source of power. The philosophy of daily training. You can't build discipline overnight. You train it like a muscle, like a craft. Every day you rise early, you strengthen it. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, you strengthen it. Every time you push through fatigue or doubt, you carve discipline deeper into your being. You are what you repeatedly do. Excellence is not an act, it's a habit. So treat every day as training, not for applause, not for recognition, but for mastery. Train your body, train your mind. Prepare your meals, guard your thoughts, complete your tasks. Do the work even when no one sees. Because every efficient day is a victory, and a string of victories creates a life of meaning. The Stoic warrior's mindset. When life strikes hard, and it will, discipline becomes your armor. The world may change. People may doubt you, betray you, leave you. But discipline, that quiet, loyal companion, never abandons you. It's the inner fortress no storm can breach. It keeps your emotions from ruling your reason, your fear from dictating your fate. The Stoics believed that we can't control the world, but we can always control our response to it. That response is discipline in action. You can't avoid pain, but you can choose what it means. You can't control failure, but you can decide to rise. And that decision, repeated over and over, is what builds a mind unshakable by circumstance. Final reflection. Discipline is not the enemy of joy. It is the foundation of it. Because nothing feels better than knowing you kept your word to yourself. You rose when it was hard. You acted when you were tired. You stayed calm when life tested you. That is real freedom. That is real power. So when you wake tomorrow, don't ask for an easy day. Ask for strength, for clarity, for courage. Ask for the discipline to act no matter what stands in your way. Rise, train, persist, and conquer. Not the world, but yourself. Because once you master that, everything else follows. If this message spoke to something deep inside you, don't just move on. Act on it. Subscribe, reflect, and commit. Not to me, not to this channel, but to your own evolution. Because the journey toward discipline is the journey toward freedom. And that journey begins right now.